Hello and welcome back to the physics class. In this video, we shall discuss about the methods of charging. There are three ways of getting an object charged. That is, charging by friction, second, charging by conduction, and third, charging by induction. Let us see each of these processes. Charging by friction. It is the transfer of electrons from one object to another when rubbed together. The basic example of charging by friction is when a glass rod is rubbed with silk cloth. Initially, the glass rod and silk cloth both are uncharged. When they are rubbed against each other, we see glass rod develops a positive charge whereas the silk cloth develops a negative charge. Here, why the objects get charged? They get charged because electrons transfer from one object to another. These are the outer shell electrons or the free electrons which are available, which can be easily transferred from an object to the another object. In this case, we see the glass rod is getting positively charged. It means that electrons from the glass moves on to the silk cloth. Because there is loss of electron from the glass rod, thus glass rod becomes positively charged. Whereas for the silk cloth, it is gaining electrons, the number of electrons are increasing, hence the total charge becomes negative. Thus, one object acquires positive charge and the other object acquires negative charge in the process of charging by friction. We can take an example where we rub our hands on one another. After rubbing the hands, there may be charges develop on the palms. This we can not see as such, but we can take an example where we can feel the effect of charges. During the winter time, when we are wearing the sweater for long time and we remove the sweater, we do see some small sparks of light and we hear the sound as well. That is nothing but the charge that is developed when we are trying to remove the wool. There is friction between the skin and the wool and charges develop on the body. If somebody happens to touch you with the charges on your body, then you can feel that slight shock when the person touches you. Thus, this is how charges develop due to friction. The second method is charging by conduction. It is the transfer of electrons from one object to another when brought in contact. Now the difference here is that the object is to be in contact with the another object so that the electrons transfer from one object to another. Like as in the example of electroscope, we bring the charged rod and touch it on the metal knob of the electroscope. You have to physically touch the rod with the metal knob so that the charges get transferred. This you can see in the previous video with the title Electric Charges, where we have seen the practical model of electroscope and how it works. So when we bring a charged object and touch it with an uncharged object, the uncharged object acquires charges. This method is charging by conduction. The third method is charging by induction. It is a phenomenon where opposite charges develop on a conductor when a charged conductor is held closer to it without physically in contact. So the difference in the second point and the third point, that is charging by conduction and charging by induction, is that in conduction we have to physically touch the object, whereas in induction we just held the object near the another one and we see charges develop. Another point is that in conduction we have the same charges develop on the body, whereas in induction opposite charges develop. Let us see stepwise how this process happens. In the figure A, we have two spheres A and B. These are the conducting spheres which are supported by the insulated stand. Insulated stand is required because we do not want the charges to flow down to the ground. Thus, metal spheres or the conducting spheres are supported on the insulating stand. These two spheres A and B are initially uncharged. They are kept in contact with each other. In diagram B, we bring a positively charged glass rod and we held it closer to the sphere A. We do not touch the glass rod onto the sphere A. It is just held near the sphere and we see accumulation of negative charges towards one end and positive on the other end. Here you can see that because glass rod is positively charged, thus all the negative charges come on the near end of the glass rod, whereas all the positive charges due to repulsion move to the farther end and thus sphere B acquires positive and sphere A near end acquires negative charges. Now keeping the glass rod in the same position, we will separate the two spheres A and B. This is what you can see in diagram C. The glass rod is still in the same position, but the two spheres are now separated. What happens after this? When you remove the glass rod, now the charges which were initially on the extreme end, now they come towards the closer end. This is because we know unlike charges attract. But because the spheres are separated, charges cannot move and fuse each other. Now you separate the two spheres, you will see uniform charges develop on each sphere. Sphere A acquires all negative charges uniformly spread on the surface. Sphere B acquires all positive charges uniformly spread. This is how we can get our object charged by the method of induction. You see here we had brought a glass rod which was initially charged, but we did not physically touch the glass rod with any of the spheres and there is no direct transfer of charges. So this is charging by induction. Now let us see a solved example from the textbook. This is example 1.1 from your NCERT textbook. It says, how can you change a metal sphere positively without touching it? Now, this is charging an object and that too the question is asking us that we have to get the metal sphere positively charged without touching. Without touching is a process which is charging by induction. So let us see. Looking at the diagram, we will understand. We have the sphere which is uncharged as shown in diagram A. We bring a charged rod near it. Because we have to get the sphere charged with positive charges, so we will bring a negatively charged rod near the sphere. We know that in induction opposite charges develop. Thus we have the glass rod, or sorry, it's not the glass rod, the rod with negative charge. It can be an ebonite rod with negative charges. When you held the rod near the sphere for some time, positive charges come towards the closer end. The opposite side of the sphere is grounded. Now when you ground, the negative charges which get accumulated at the other end will flow down to the ground. So in this diagram C, on grounding, all the negative charges have gone down to the ground. In diagram B, we have seen positive and negative charges separated. In C, the negative charges have gone down to the ground. Now, without moving the rod, we remove the grounding. So, the situation is as seen in diagram D. The rod is there which is negatively charged. All the positive charges are accumulated towards the closer end, and finally in the diagram E, we remove the rod and we see that our metal sphere gets positively charged, that too all the charges get spread uniformly over the surface. This is how we can have an uncharged sphere charged with positive charge without touching it. Thus, in this video we have seen charging by friction, conduction and induction. Thank you so much.